Good evening, everybody. I'm here with Mark Hertel, which if you have been following LVO and you are in chat right now, you are either you are aware of his crushing stampede through everybody who came to challenge him in a 1,000 player tournament, and he eked out an amazing streak, an amazing win. Congratulations, Mark. I don't want to spend too much time lavishing you in accolades and fancy words, but I just want to say again, congratulations. I want to get into all of that, but first I want to ask about you, man. How you doing? 10 games.
I'm doing great. I'm actually feeling good. I've been awake. I've been awake in Las Vegas. I got up at 7:30. I was on plane at 9. I was on a plane at 9:50 to fly back to Virginia, and I took a 2-hour nap when I got back in Virginia at around 11 o'clock. I'm sorry, around 11 o'clock. I got up and I've been awake ever since. I'm
That's
feeling fine.
you're gonna crash soon, but hopefully you can not
Probably.
crash on the show. But I hope you
That'll be a
took
little embarrassing.
I hope you took an additional day off, my man, because you earned it for sure. Well, so before we get into LVO specific, I want to just remind everybody watching, like, we do this live, and we have 11 viewers already. Nice. We do this live so that people can ask questions, can interact with us, make fun of my hair and chat, whatever. That's a lie. You can't make fun of this perfectly coiffed hairdo, but yeah, go ahead and interact with us. And I want to ask you first, Mark. So what got you, how long have you been playing? What got you into 40K?
Well, I've always kind of wanted to play 40K even before I knew what 40K was. I've always been a bit of a war gamer. My dad's Air Force, retired Air Force, and he was a bit of a war gamer himself. So we would play like Axis and Allies, other board games like that when I was a
Nice.
kid. And I always remember seeing like the Warhammer Fantasy and the Warhammer 40K stuff as a kid. And like I would like make Legos. Like with my Legos, basically make Lego. I want to make like a Lego war game. So play a Lego war game. Like I'd make a little circular, use little circular bases, put my little guys on bases, just like it was like Warhammer. But like I didn't know what Warhammer was as like a game, so I feel like I always knew I wanted to do something like it. I started working at a game store later on, and I got into like X-wing and fantasy
Ah,
X-wing that. And there was a good 40K group at the game at the store. I was really big into Magic before then in high school and everything like that. So I have a bit of the hybrid competitive background from that, which really helps coming into 40K because it helps with like the list construction and
mm.
everything. Um,
Eh,
and then so what I did there is I sold my Magic collection to the store so you get into Warhammer.
wow. So you gave up
Just
some
worked out.
crack for some crack?
I gave up the cardboard crack for the plastic crack.
That's right. Aaron wants to know where your gator hat is.
It is it's in another room, Aaron. If I must get it, I can get it.
I
Can I
mean,
get it?
I just I just want to know what's the myth and the mystery behind the gator hat. And
So so my nickname is Gator. I don't know if you've ever
okay.
seen the have you ever seen the movie The Other Guys? Will
Uh
Ferrell?
I if it's a Will Ferrell movie, oh, is that the one where he's a cop?
Yes.
I actually have not seen that one. I've seen like
Okay.
I've even seen Blades of Victory, which I think we can all agree not his greatest movie. But I haven't
So
seen
so
that yet.
basically a while ago, a long while ago, I was christened Gator. Gator is um Gator is his previous in the movie. He basically is a cop, but before he was a cop, he was a pimp, and his name was Gator. Gator was his pimp name. Gator
Fantastic.
don't play no shit.
All
Gator's
right.
just better using Jimmy's. So basically, I was Gator. I stuck ever since, and I have a Gator hat that I sometimes wear at tournaments, and I wore at LVO a little bit at the award ceremony, which I wasn't there for, but before then I was wearing it. So I take myself very seriously. You see, I take myself very seriously. I'm a very serious gamer
Yes.
over here.
Yeah. And we do have a list question already, which I have the same question, Damn Legion, and we'll get to that when we get to uh the list. And yes, Ivar is back here behind me, and he is, in fact, a very good boy. He's also very tired from chasing my daughter. But you want to get into this list?
Yes, sir.
All right. I think that's what everybody's waiting for. So let's do it, shall we? Okay. So, why don't you take it from the top?
All right. So you want to know my list?
I do.
So my list is it's the Deathwatch Veteran Squad. It's the let's pull it up. It's the Deathwatch is back on the menu, boys.
That's right.
That's my list name. So we got the Captain Gravis armor. He's got the 2-move Ectoclades for the double oath once per game. Now, there's a funny thing here. He in my list for LVO, he actually has the gun, which is the Strength 5 AP1 3 damage gun, 2 shots. I was actually a mistake. He should have had the Power Fist, but I didn't realize I didn't update it when I uploaded the list to LVO.
Nice.
So I just had to play it like that.
Yeah.
It worked out, but it worked out all right. But that's not what he's supposed to have. He's supposed to have the Power Fist with the Relic Blade.
All right. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, but it works out either way. He still does the same things.
No, that's fantastic.
Next, we've got the Judiciar. He's got the Thief of Secrets for the extra strength, damage, and AP on his with melee weapons.
So good.
It gets even stronger if he kills a model in the fight phase.
So good.
Lieutenant with combi weapon, just running around doing combi weapon things. Then we got the Mr. Watchmaster, who's my warlord. He's got the advance and charge, advance and shoot, fall back and charge, fall back and shoot. And he can also use the free strat along with the Captain Gravis armor and the same battle round. Then we got, for battle line, we got 3 Deathwatch veteran squads, 1 10-man, 2 5-man, all the special weapons, 2 Thunderhammers in the 5-mans, 4 Thunderhammers in the 10-mans. We got 2 Frag Cannons in the 10-man, 2 Inferno Sighting Bolters in the front, and them. They just got all the special weapons, weapons. And 2 Storm Shields, which are also important too.
Yeah.
Those matter in one of my games later. We got 2 Rhinos to hold those Deathwatch veterans. We got 2 5-man Terminator squads, Deathwatch Terminator squads, with 3 Cyclone Missile Launchers. They're all Stormbolter and Power Fist. 1 Indominator kill team with 3 Melter Rifle guys, 1 Multi-Melta, 3 Power Fist and the Flamers, 2 Heavy Bolter and 2 Bolt Rifle. We just got so many different guns.
Yeah.
We're almost done. We got Storm Speeder Thunder Strike for Pulse and Wound, and we got the Talon Strike kills team for the with the Bolters and the Plasma Pistols on the Jump Back Intercessors.
Yeah, I see the
pretty simple
assault bolters. So I haven't played any Deathwatch since the new index hit. It's hard to find the time, but I was really amazed at your list because you just have 2 of the kill teams, like, but everything in here other than a couple of models has the kill team keyword, which is fantastic for the stratagem synergy. Like, this is just like beautiful Deathwatch tech. Like, there's no like, you didn't go into Vindicators and Lancers or anything. Like, you just brought infantry and 1 Storm Speeder for the +1 to wound against vehicles and monsters, and like, it just, I can see how this plays and synergizes so well, and I would have never thought of this list. Like, I'm not that good, but I am really excited to ask you the next question. So the characters, like, I know you can attach them to different squads as the games go on, but generally speaking, what character is in which squad, other than we always know that the lieutenant is by himself, but
yeah. Well, the Captain Gravis armor, he has to go with the Dominator kill team.
That makes sense.
He can't go anywhere else.
Yeah.
So he goes there. I always put the 10-man squad with the Watchmaster and the 5-man squad, one of the 5-man
really?
squads with the Judiciar. Yes.
Okay.
Always.
Interesting. I would have thought you would have done it the other way, because like a 10-man brick with fights first and 4 heavy Thunderhammers is just awful.
Well, the thing is that, like, that 10-man brick is usually suicidal. Is usually I throw them out into the middle or throw them out somewhere turn 1. They go charge something, kill something off an objective. They die, but they actually have to devote some stuff to kill them, and then I just shoot them back.
Oh, okay.
charge them back, do
Yeah,
whatever.
that makes sense.
Usually
All right.
they die very quickly.
Yeah. For the watch, right?
For Watchmaster, yeah.
Yeah. Cool, man. So yeah, is that the basic synergy? Like, I like the addition of the assault bolters on your inceptors so that you get the sustained hits too, and then with the rerolls from Oath, and you just get +1 to wound from the Thunderstrike. Like, that's beautifully simple, right?
It's all very simple. It looks very simple, but it's also very complicated too, because you've got all these different weapons, and you got to figure out like who goes where, and the
Yeah.
best way to like to put your weapons in the right spot. Because sometimes you have to be worried about like how they screen you out, and then like where you can actually fit your guys and where you can actually see your opponent. It works really well in GW terrain because GW terrain is usually objectives are out in the open, so you can't hide for everything. Like there's going to be some angles to where you can get line of sight to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But what the list really does well is hides. Well, on turn one, because I've got those on turn one, I usually deep strike the Thunder Strike, the Talon Strike kill team, and one Terminator squad. So on the only thing that's on the table is the Indominator kill team, the Gravis kill team, the Indominator kill team, the Captain, the Lieutenant, the 2 Rhinos, and one Terminator squad.
And
That's like 5
yeah.
drops.
Yeah, that's great. That's fantastic. So you finish early, you give nothing away, you can hide real easy, and then if you go first, that you give nothing, like nothing. Yeah, that's fantastic. That's really cool. And is that your game plan every game, basically? Or I know it was 10 games, so the odds of that being yes is pretty low, but
So it's not. So basically, I don't really make a game plan for. I don't really have a game plan. What I do is I go up to the table, I see what mission we're doing, I see what I'm up against, and I just wing it.
yeah.
Basically, because like you can't really have a game plan for like, oh, I'm gonna do this in every situation. Because what if your opponent does something you weren't expecting?
Mm-hmm.
So you just have to go into there. What I do is I go into every game. I look at what my opponent's list is, figure out what they can do. So it helps if I've played against it before, of course. But like, I ask them questions about what their stuff does, range, what their profiles are, figure out things, and I just figure out where I need to go, what I need to do, and what I need to do to win.
Very cool. We have a couple questions. One is, do you like spore mines, Mark?
No, I do not like spore mines.
I also do not like spore mines.
Not play against any spore mines.
And then, did you use the Infernus Heavy Bolter as an Overwatch threat, or just as the Bolter threat? Like, because 36-inch range, you know, all that jazz.
Usually, well, it depends if I'm going against if I'm overwatching against like Gene Stealers, I use the heavy bolter profile because I'm getting full rules to hit, sustained hits, and they're flat 2 damage. In my last game, I actually used the flamer profile to kill a lone up lieutenant, so that was good.
Yeah.
In my final game at LVO.
Right. So, but you're not generally bringing the Infernus for like, are they just there for the Overwatch threat, or?
No, they're there because I can't take 2, and I can't take 2 frag cannons, so I'm not. There's nothing else is better.
Okay.
If I could take 2 frag cannons instead of the 2 heavy bolters in the 10-man squad, I would take 4 frag cannons.
Okay. But so you really like the frag after the index?
Yeah, I still like the frag because the frag, when you can run around with like early 10th edition with 4 frag cannons with like +6 range, they're pretty nasty.
Yeah, that's true. We have some more questions. When are you gonna fight me again, Mark? Stephen Henry the Fourth. Stephen Henry. Okay.
Well, Stephen, you got to keep winning your tournaments. You got to win enough rounds to actually face me.
Oh,
of course, I also have to win the rounds to face you too. But we just have to be paired against each other, Stephen.
With Henry the Fourth there, I thought it was Stefan. It had to be like a little more jaunty than Stephen, but. And Aaron is actually wondering, and I just watched this like yesterday afternoon. What Chaos God did you pray to make that 11-inch charge onto the center?
I didn't pray to any Chaos God. The Emperor protects. The Emperor guides
there you
my
go.
sword.
Correct answer, sir.
God willed it.
Correct. Ah, beautiful. Bro, why can't I drop a super chat. It's because I don't monetize this. I'm just a nerd who occasionally does videos. This makes me no money, so you can't super chat me. Sorry. But thank you for, I mean, thank you. All right. Is there anything else, like, is there any other specific synergies or game plan that you had when you built the list?
So it's all about like being able to maximize threat potential. What I like to do is I like to force my opponents to make mistakes. Like I like to basically like force them to do something. Like I'll like throw out a unit like onto an objective and like be like, all right, cool. Either you're gonna deal with this unit, you're gonna send something out to kill it, or I'm gonna get points on primary. And you do something to kill it, I'm gonna kill you back, and I'm gonna kill you back with more stuff.
Got it.
So I usually try and like force my opponents to make a mistake, and then like capitalize on their mistakes with like really powerful alpha strike.
Very cool. Tyler has a excellent question that I had as well, which is like, you had no infiltrators?
Yeah.
So who's like, no one's holding your, like a 5-man Deathwatch vets are holding your backfield and that's it?
Usually it's Rhino.
Oh, the Rhinos, yeah.
A Rhino or the lone up lieutenant.
Okay, that's a good point. Like Rhinos, I play armies, like Grey Knights are what I'm mostly playing in 10th right now, and we're so maneuverable anyway that we don't really need Rhinos other than for like protection of our little squads, and so no one runs them. So I don't have a lot of experience with running Rhinos, so I even forgot they were in your list when you told me that. But that makes sense. Like, I love it. They're great. They're little action monkeys if they're not doing anything, right? You know, they're still doing a 9-inch deep strike deny bubble. You know, it's fantastic. So
yeah.
Cool. So, Damned Legion is asking, he's basically asking, why did you not bring a Spectrus kill team? And I think I know, but I'll let you answer
because
you're the
not
guest.
Good.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
They're just not good. For 200 points, I could have 2 Deathwatch veteran squads or a 10-man veteran squad.
Yeah. Dunangus McBain is asking, what's the biggest weakness you found with this list at LVO? After going 10 games, you now have a considerable amount of reps into it. What's its weakness?
Stuff that can actually punch back and survive. And I'll be honest, like my hardest matches were actually Death Guard. Like I almost lost my 2 Death Guard games. All my other games were pretty solidly. I figured I was going to win, and I wasn't really sweating too much. I mean, like, yes, I was like trying really hard, but the Death Guard games, those games came down to like miracles almost. I mean, like not quite, but like, yeah, there's some good merit. There was some fate. There's some fate there.
Okay. So, and is it just because they're just like they're probably making you -1 day hit all over the place?
They were making me they used the -1 to my armor save. So basically, like, they get me they get close to me. All of a sudden, I'm like on 6 up armor saves against 3 damage bolters or 3 damage like it's just all this AP1 ignore cover for the flamers, all my infantry. They like because I'm mainly infantry, so like Death Guard is really good at killing infantry.
Yeah.
So like once I'm on the ground and I'm on the table, like Death Guard can really pick up my models. Like I am glass cannons. I am marine bodies without invul saves for the most part.
Yeah.
So we do just die.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just, can we punch back? And Death Guard has so many cheap units where they can be like, we'll just throw this unit away. You have to kill. There's so much stuff you have to kill for Death Guard, and then you just have to worry about like they can actually kill you back. It's not like it's like the stuff that they can kill is like if I was playing like a mechanized vehicle list, like Land Raiders, I would be like, psh, Death Guard, I don't care. But because I'm actually marine bodies, I actually care.
You're now T3 with a 4 up. You're basically Eldari at that point. Like
pretty
after
much,
all their contagions.
Yeah. It doesn't feel good.
Really expensive Eldari. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, great. We'll go down. This is fantastic, by the way. Like all these questions. This is great. Did you like the 5-man vet squads for trading, or would you rather have jump pack intercessors?
Nope. I like the 5-man Deathwatch running squad.
And
Because for one thing, you don't get the mission tactics on the jump pack intercessors.
bingo. Yeah. So that was one of the big things that, oh, so I guess I ought to ask, at LVO, were they using the latest balance data slate and all that
They
stuff
were
then?
not, but I didn't look at I didn't realize that LVO had made a ruling that you could, that everything would have mission tactics until I
Oh.
was at LVO. Basically, I asked one of the judges, hey, because I wanted to know if because I knew based on the rule even before GW made that ruling, the way I read it is that like only the mission tactic things get mission tactics.
Right.
But I wanted to know if my characters attached to the units got mission tactics. So I asked the judge, hey, does my character get the mission tactics? He said, read the fact. Right. Well, I read the fact. Everything gets mission tactics. So it's just like,
Yeah.
I guess my characters get the mission tactics too.
Yeah. Everything
Yeah.
in a mission tactic. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, the way they ruled it at LVO is even my vehicles got it. So it was useful. I mean, like a little bit because like the Storm Spear getting like 6s. This is nice sometimes for a little extra hits, but it's not vital. I built my list to basically not need it because I wasn't expecting to use it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because I didn't realize they ruled it that way.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Like, so to reiterate for folks who might not know, and again, I haven't played Deathwatch, but they ruled that only the index units and attached characters that have the mission tactics ability actually get the Deathwatch mission tactics, right? So like the Deathwatch veterans, the Deathwatch Terminator squads, all they get it. But if you bring like a Vindicator, they don't get it because they don't have it on their index card, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So like no more bringing 3 whirlwinds and then getting sustained hits and all of that jazz.
Or Desolation, or Devastators, or
Yeah,
Desolation.
yeah. Well, yeah, Desolator Marines.
Nah.
Yeah, I hate that model. I hated that data sheet, and I hated when LVO was 10 5-man Desolator squads, 3 Gladiator Lancers, and then Chaff to fill out everything. But anyway, I digress. This isn't about me. This is about you. I'm sorry. Was the Judiciar worth it over the course of the event? It looked like it was a heroic unit to protect your objective holders from behind a wall.
Yeah, he was useful. Oftentimes, like he would either be left alone and he'd just like hold an objective and just like that's great. Other times he'd actually be a hero and late game he'll just go in there and do some stuff. But like he was very useful because like as a tech piece you have to respect him. With Thief of Secrets, you have to respect that profile because he's rerolling ones to hit, so he's going to hit you very often because he's attached to Deathwatch Veteran Squad. He's Strength 8, AP 3, 3 damage. So that's a huge profile because oftentimes he kills characters in 2 hits instead of 3. He's Dev Wounds and Precision. And like a lot of times you've got 3 wound like Sanguinary Guard, stuff like that. They don't like 3 damage Strength 8 itself. And then the Thunderhammers for the Deathwatch Veterans also kill 3 damage and rerolling hits. And he kills stuff if the Duke Guard doesn't finish him off.
Yeah. No, he's spicy. He's spicy. Like
he's spicy.
Like it's just it's that layer of stuff, right? Like you got that good melee profile. He's like he gets an extra attack with Thief of Secrets. He also gets extra AP and
well,
strength.
Attack, just strength damage and AP.
Right. Well, he gets an extra attack from his keyword.
If he kills a model, he has to kill a character.
Right.
He has to kill a character.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, there's this layer, right? Like,
Sure.
there's this like potential of like just he can become a horrible whirlwind.
Oh yes.
And then the fact that he gives fight first is just there are armies that just can't. They're like, shit. What do I do against fight first? You know. So that's really neat. I really like that tech piece. I'm still surprised that you stuck him on a 5-man, but you know, you won LVO, and I've never placed above 330 at LVO, so
it's mainly the mobility. Like he can't like go out and touch things, and I want the 10-man squad to just like kill a Hive Tyrant or something else like that.
Yeah, which makes sense with the advance and shoot and charge from the Watchmaster. So yeah, totally makes sense once you say it out loud. Let's see. Any changes you would make to this list, or is this like this is your gold standard Deathwatch list right now?
I think this is the best you can do for Deathwatch. Personally, there's maybe some minor tweaks you can do, but like I wouldn't change a thing in this list. It's perfect for what it does.
Yeah. And then did you have a game plan for CP management? What strats did you mainly use most turns, or want to use most turns?
Yes. So basically, the main thing for what I would do is I have the Captain Graphics Armor hidden behind the rune in my backfield, and the Terminator is usually hidden somewhere. I would basically pick up the Captain Graphics Armor and the Terminators that start on the board, usually almost every game, but because the Captain can target himself and another unit for free.
Right.
So basically, like almost always, I'm not spending any CP turn 1. So going into turn 2, I'm actually like up CP because I'm not spending any CP.
Yeah, like
I'm
a 2 or 3.
I'm subbing for free. Yeah, something like that.
That's so cool. Like, and so for those of you that are unaware, so Deathwatch has this weird synergy right now with the rules that hasn't been clearly defined, but the captain has rights of battle, which lets you use one stratagem on its unit for free per turn, not per round, per turn. And the Watchmaster has the same ability, but it's named Watchmaster, so you can use them both, even in the same turn. So Deathwatch actually, if you're using them appropriately, actually ends up with kind of a flood of CP, and then a lot of the strats are target 2 kill teams is how it's worded. So that's why having so many units in this list with the kill team keyword matters so much, is because if he uses like, you know, Dragonfire rounds or whatever, like Kraken rounds on his Indomitor team, he can use it for free on a bunch of Cyclone missile launchers.
There's only 2 shots that target 2 things. I think
I'm thinking the old index then.
You're thinking old index, but it's same theory though. Is to pick 2 units to teleport. That's the one, and pick 2 units to put into mission tactics.
Yeah. Okay.
It used to be you could pick 2 kill team units to put into Kraken rounds or whatever.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. So that's
like that.
That's my mistake. But still, both of those stratagems are very good, and to be able to use them every single turn for free on 2 units is not like doing that for free on 2 units. Basically makes you Grey Knights or Hypercrypt. You're putting 2 units, not 3, but like you're effectively just for free putting 2 units into Deep Strike every single turn and able to drop them anywhere you want them, which is super cool.
Grey Knights with better guns.
Grey Knights with better guns. Yes. Tell me about it. Let's see. Don't forget the Inquisitor for potential second Indomitor for even more CP. Does the Inquisitor? Oh, because of the whole heavy intercessor battle line, thing lets you attach Inquisitors. Yeah. Is that also named a different name? So you could have 3 stats for free?
The list does fine by itself. If you start cutting points somewhere, you start losing what you do.
Yeah,
it's like the list is a giant puzzle, and it all fits perfectly together. And once you change the puzzle piece, then it doesn't work anymore.
Got it. Tyler asking, do you prefer the assault bolters over plasma? I assume they want to target what the storm speeder. I forget. Did you have a hammer strike or a thunder strike?
Thunder strike.
Okay. Which makes sense. We talked about that at the start of the stream, but yeah. So
I've always been a huge proponent of the assault bolters instead of the plasma, because the plasma will just kill themselves. In my game against Jack, he killed 3 of his own plasma guys shooting at my guys, and it was just like, and he killed like 2 of my guys with plasma guys. I rolled really hot. It was like, all right, cool. You just killed just as many of your guys like you killed mine. Like I don't like losing my 40-point models to hazard attacks, and I think the bolters are a lot more, because of twin links saying it's 2. I think they're a lot more versatile into more things.
Well, they're twin links, and I know you can't stack the sustained hits mission tactic to give them stuff like sustained hits 3, but you could give them lethal hits. You could give them precision. You know,
anti-infantry 2 up.
Right. Right, yeah. Like
And with that, and with
uh,
saying this 2 and saying infantry 2 up, all of a sudden your T6 model is taking like 18 AP2 2 damage shots.
yeah.
That's madness.
You're probably sniping out Trajan at that point.
No, Trajan's already dead.
Yeah, well there you go. See? Like
Yeah.
that's fantastic. I hadn't thought about the fact that the anti-infantry 2 plus would make those all crit for precision.
It's not precision. I'm just saying that I would go through all the squad.
Oh, got it. Yeah. I mean, yeah,
You take enough saves, you'll just die.
exactly. That's fantastic. Reposting since it seemed to get lost in the war. What method do you use to pick up your big kill teams, measure, and then drop them down on a clock? Probably reps, right?
Yeah, a little bit of reps. It's just
Yeah.
like I'll play a game enough. I'll play a game a lot. Use measuring tools. It just comes down to like practice. It's almost just like muscle memory after a while.
Yeah. Did I miss anything else? Ryan agrees that you all believe in assault bolters before it was cool. I think that's hilarious. Did you ever feel your list lacked anti-tank, or did you have to use lethal more often on your units?
No, usually I'm going for sustained hits because I like to get more hits in than usually when I go when it's my go turn, I'm using sustained hits, and then I do lethal hits. I'm almost always doing sustained before I do lethal.
Got it. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, unless you're playing like a 6 Land Raider list or something, right?
Yeah, but at that point it's just like what are they even doing? It's just a
Yeah.
parking lot over
Yeah,
there.
it's just that's a total meme list, obviously, but like, yeah. They're T12, 16 wounds, so probably want some
You just like
lethals
keep
up in
away.
there. Yeah. Great. I think I'm all caught up now. So, do you want to talk about your matchups? I know it's almost midnight over there on the East Coast right now, so I don't want to like keep you up too long. I'd love to go into every single match, but you want to go over some highlights maybe of like your
Yeah,
first three
I'll
or
go
four
over some of
matches?
my list. I'll go over some of the games.
Sure.
So my first game was let me see, it was Eldar. Um, Actually, that game was a little bit spicy because like I ended up getting 100 points in it, but for a while I was worried I was going to be able to score very high at all because he had me contained for a little bit, but I was able to break out and then eventually just move around the board and then like kill enough and score high. My second game was against two Lord Skulls. With it was
Always
two Lord
that guy there.
Skulls. Yeah, it was two Lord Skulls with a bunch of a 10-man chosen brick and a 10-man possessed brick. He actually threw his chosen brick into my opponent's zone turn 1, which I think was a mistake, but he did it. He killed some stuff and I killed him back. Turn 2, I killed both Lord Skulls, and then he brought the possess in turn 3, and the game was pretty much over by then.
Yeah.
Game
Wow.
3, that was one of my really close games. That was against Death Guard. He played really good. He was a really tight opponent. But it ended up coming down to he had to redraw a secondary. He redrew into extend battle lines. He had behind enemy lines. He fails battle shock on his unit that can get behind enemy lines, and I end up winning by 1 point.
Holy shit.
If he makes that battle shock, I lose that game.
That's the ugh.
It was a hell of a game. It was a really close game. Came down to failing the battle shock. I won that game.
Damn.
And that was game 3 of day 1. Game 4, I played against Stormlands Dark Angels. He had like almost no shooting. I was able to play keep away a little bit, and then I eventually just whittled him down and then took the game. Game 5, I played on Joe's Patreon stream on War Games Live. I played against Ultramarines Gladius shooting. It was like double predator, some other stuff. I just utilized he made a mistake turn 1, which cost him the game. It was on relic. So we were able to play keep away for most of the game. but he didn't screen me out from his lone up lieutenant and with some jump intercessors, so I was able to drop down onto terrain, shoot his lone up lieutenant, charge some scouts, and take him to get storm hostile objective and stop his recover assets.
Wow. So
So
huge turn.
I went first. I basically stopped him from getting any points on primary on turn 2, and I was able to stop him from getting recover assets. It was a huge swing in the game. And basically from that point on, I was just denying them points on primary, keeping them down. Game 5 was that was the game 5. Game 6 was I played on Joe's stream. It was against Tyranids. It was Gene Stealer Tyranids. It was Vanguard Tyranids, a bunch of Gene Stealers. He comes at me turn 1 and kills a Terminator squad, wheels down some other stuff, gets into my talent strike, kills him. I start everything on the board against him, which I usually don't, but I start everything on the board against him.
What was your reasoning there? Like, why change your deployment?
Me out.
Okay.
Yeah, I know you can scream me out. I want everything on the board to be able to just punch him back. Because I knew if he went first, he was going to come at me. I knew I needed everything on the board to basically just kill him as quickly as possible.
No rapid ingress, no one unit in deep strike for rapid. No, okay.
Because I was just teleporting.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's true. That's true. That's true.
Yeah, but I started everything on the board. And then he killed what he killed, and I killed both his Gene Stealer bricks back. Is Von Ryan's, and then I moved my 10-man squad up the board into the middle, and I charged Hive Tyrant and kill it. Make a 10 charge. Fuck it, we ball. Roll 10 charge, and I rolled it.
Dude, so your way to win is make 10 and 11 inch charges.
Easily.
Got it. Okay. As long as you roll 5s and 6s, you always win the game. Got it.
You just roll high, you win the game. Sometimes I've played this game enough. Sometimes I've found you can be the best player in the world and you can have the best game plan in the world, and sometimes you just lose the dice.
Yeah. Dice. And tell stories.
And sometimes you win the game because of dice. It happens. There are some games you're just meant to lose.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing you can do about it. Like the dice just say you lose. Yeah. But I make that 9 charge. I have 10 charges into the Hive Tyrant. Kill the Hive Tyrant with my 10-man squad, and then he's on the back foot. Well, he's on the back foot from that game, but basically, I know I'm in a good spot to win on the end game because I'm going second. I know that I'm just going to keep on killing this stuff, and eventually I'm going to score enough points to come back and win the game, which I do.
Right.
So that's game 6. Shadow round. But game 7, I play on Tabletop Live.
Before we get into this, a few questions have built up. So,
okay.
And I want to ask you, actually, before we get into the questions. So, the Shadow Round, we've all heard about it. Like, is that also paired, like, normally in PC or
I think
BCP?
They did it
like,
by, how they did it is, it's in BCP, but they did it based on seedings. I had the highest opponent win percentage in the seedings, so I was the first ranked player. So I was originally going to be playing the guy I played in round 6 again in the Shadow Round. Okay. But he, I guess, didn't want to play me or had already left or something like that. So he didn't come back to play. So they had to look for another person to play. Eventually they found Don Husen, and I played him in the Shadow Round.
Okay, interesting. So let's get into the question. So did you ever feel that your list lacked anti-tank, or did you use lethals more often on your units?
No. I didn't use lethal more often. I was usually if I'm doing anything, it's sustained hits. I felt like my anti-tank is fine.
Yeah. Which leads into the next question. Were you mostly shooting cracker frag with your Cyclone missile launchers?
Depends on the target.
Of course.
It depends on the target. If it's a big target, usually crack. If it's a small target, usually frag. But it really does depend, because sometimes if you're getting the postal wound, it's better to do the frag. But oftentimes, like, it's just better to do the crack.
Yeah. Especially with, like, sustained hits, sometimes you can get lucky, get an extra hit or two with crack, which is insane. Yeah. I do like firing frag into, like, 20-man warrior blobs and stuff. That's always a joy. Have you? Oh, Fred Fortman's in chat. What's up, Fred? He's asking, have you play tested into the 13 War Dogs?
No.
How do you feel that you'd handle that?
I think I could take that pretty easily. Basically, you just kill a couple of them. You just try and kill a couple of them at a time. Like, because you are good in melee too. Because like that 10-man squad with Thunderhammers, they'll pick up some Warlocks just by themselves in melee. And then like, because we're more mobile than them. We can hide a lot better than them. They have to come out to play, and when they come out, I come out and I hit you harder. Because remember, I've got a tiny footprint I've got a tiny footprint. Sorry.
No,
I've got a tiny footprint.
I'm sorry about that. My cat was snoring and it sounded like my baby was waking up, and I had a minor heart attack there. So it's all good. Sorry. It's totally my cat snoring.
Yeah, but like, because I've got a tiny footprint, against War Dogs, I'm not really worried about them because they will just die.
Interesting.
Because
Man,
I've got the firepower and the damage to kill them, and like they don't like that.
No.
Because I can kill them in melee and shooting.
Yeah. So again, like primarily in 10th, I've been playing my Grey Knights mostly because like I've been repainting them and I want to put like my freshly painted models on the board. But like the 13 War Dog list is one of my most like hated matchups. I think it's probably because I got bodied by them so hard in 9th. But yeah, that's fascinating. And then
because remember, you've got one turn of Double Oath, and that's pretty much guarantees you kill 2 of them very easily.
Yeah.
And then you just go into the other ones with melee and just pick them up.
I mean, if you can kill 3 War Dogs a turn, right? Like
Easily.
that's you're killing his OC, you're killing everything. So by the end of turn like 4, he's got one War Dog left. If you're only killing 3 a turn, so
yeah.
And then Tyler's asking, do you like Flamestorm gauntlets over Boltstorm for Overwatch potential?
I like them better for everything.
Everything.
So okay. basically, because you need Oath for the other ones, because otherwise because you have to finish with 6s. Yes, you can get more shots, but you get more reliable damage with the flamers, because the flamer, you also have to think about it like this. You can give it +6 in range and ignores cover with the extra AP, because it has ignores cover already. So you're looking at 3d6 plus 3, strength 6, AP1 ignores cover, twin linked, potentially with +1 to wound. Like, a lot of things don't like that. And if you're firing on Overwatch, you're targeting the only eligible target. It doesn't matter if anything's closer than them. Like your strength 6 flamers on Overwatch.
Oh, that is an excellent point. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. You're absolutely right. When you're Overwatching, it's the only eligible target. So yeah, that's interesting. I actually had a question for you. So I was watching one of your games, and you know I have to watch them in chunks because I'm a busy man. But I noticed you had a bunch of Terminators in one of your. Well, it was just your 3 Cyclone missiles, but you had them on the top of a ruin for plunging fire.
Yeah, it wasn't plunging fire. It was just on sight.
Oh, really? Okay, but like
the buildings they weren't 6 inches high.
Oh, okay. So that's how plunging fire works. It's like 6 inches up.
6 inches high.
Oh, I thought it was 3 inches, but it's never come up. I've never used it. That's why I have no idea what it is. Okay. I was wondering if like you were trying to cheekily get some more AP, but I guess not. I guess not. And then Aaron is asking, how long before GW Gators Deathwatch now? This is actually a fascinating topic.
It all depends if other people can do what I do with Deathwatch as well. One event is not a beta.
So that's actually one thing that I wanted to point out when I was watching the final stream. The commentators who Adam Kimberly and the other guy who's also his name escapes me now, but they were mentioning like the next best Deathwatch player in the entire event was at like 115th place. So it's like it's not like the army is, you know, keyboard face roll your way to victory. Like, you know, you were, I mean, it sounds like you were getting lucky, like you're matching a death card.
I did have a lot of luck that helped me, and there were games I could have easily lost too. Like this list is not overpowering. Like I've lost plenty of games over here in the East Coast to some of my buddies and in tournaments over here too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But a lot of it is like you have to get like you have to get lucky, you have to roll good, and you have to play it well. Like you cannot just you can't just like throw it into the middle and be like, I'm gonna survive. You will die. Your models will die. They are marine bodies without invul saves.
Yeah.
You and everyone is teching to kill marines.
Yeah.
So you die.
Especially right now, right? Because the
Yes.
like all the changes to SM lately. And then I have another question for you. Why no Storm Shield, Thunderhammer, Termies in your Termi units?
Because when I do make it in the melee, and I want to make it in the melee, I want to actually be able to hit. Because you hit on 4s with the Thunderhammers. I would rather, and I'd also rather have the Storm Bolter. Because those extra bolters, that 4 extra bolter shots in 12 inch range, that actually matters.
Hmm.
And because the Terminator's reroll charges, they're making it into combat more often than they're not.
Yeah.
Drop, and then you want them to actually be able to hit.
So interesting. So yeah, like the way you pilot your list is just very different than how it reads, because like, you know, when I build a 5-man Termi, I put 2 Thunderhammer Storm Shields, and it's not because I want them in combat, it's because I want those extra wounds if they get targeted, you know? So,
yeah, I mean, they're going to die regardless of how in combat.
See, I love that attitude, man. That's great. Like, fuck it, it doesn't matter. They're going to die anyway. Yeah. Let's make them as punchy as possible. Literally as punchy as possible with the Power Fist.
Literally.
Yeah, that's cool. All right. So that answers that. All right, you want to go into your Shadow Round opponent?
Yes, the Shadow Round opponent was Don Husen. He was a really good guy, really good opponent. That game came down to Morty. I could never get into Morty. I never tried killing Morty. I was killing everything else besides Morty. Turn 4, he uses the CP to reroll to try and kill my Rhino. He kills my Rhino, which stops me from getting Defense Stronghold. So I'm in trouble now, because if he didn't kill that Rhino, I'm in a good spot. But he kills the Rhino. He's like 4 or 5 inches away from my Talon Strike squad, which is on the middle objective. He rolls double ones, no CP to reroll his charge. I win the game at that point. I'm able to run away from Morty, kill everything else, and just like survive. If he makes that charge, I probably lose that game.
See, like, God, that's so, like, it's so cool to be able to have a game so tight that you know it comes down to like 1 or 2 rolls. Like at this RTT that I went to last weekend, where I was also undefeated, not as big of a win as LVO, but like at one point I had a purgation squad guy, just like a normal Space Marine, tank 2 custode spikes in melee, and that got me recover assets in his establish locus in his backfield, and that won me the game. Just because he rolled a little cold and I rolled real hot. And that just won the game right there. And I won that game by 2 points, and it was because I took established locus in his backfield for 6 instead of 3. And that was just enough to push me over. Bam. Like, and that's how tight that game was. And that's fun. That's fun. Yeah. Like, blowouts are funny or awful if you're on the receiving end, but you probably do. Like, if you're 17 to 100 and 10 points are paint, like, you probably remember that, right?
I meant like as the sender.
As the aggressor.
I'm usually not on the receiving end, so I'm sorry. I'm striking as someone who's not on the receiving end usually. I forget myself sometimes.
Just jabbing it home, man. Just jabbing it home. No, it's fine. I haven't been that bad for a long time, but it has happened. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, those tight games, that's where the fun of this game really is. Especially when you guys are helping each other. It's collaborative. You're joking. You're like celebrating their wins. They're celebrating your wins. Like, you're lamenting their loss. Anyway, that's what makes this a great game. I'll shut up now, and we'll get back to the questions. So Fred Fortman, a man I respect very much, says that he's watched two of Mark's games live and then play tested your exact list 3 times. If I made small changes to the list, it didn't work as well. Love the list, love the choices that you made. And then Tyler's asking, do you focus more on taking and holding primary over extending to get secondaries? Do you redraw secondaries very much with this list?
I rarely redraw secondaries. Usually I'm focusing more on killing my opponent and getting primary points. Because if I can win on primary, usually it doesn't matter if you get secondary points. Because you can control primary a lot easier than you can control what you draw for secondaries.
I mean, yes, absolutely, right? Because it is 16 cards that are random, hopefully. Unless you're cheating, Mark.
You can always know what you can do with primary, because you can know if you're going to keep your opponent off primary or not.
Yeah. Fascinating. Fred's asking for the Husin game. Mark's long charge into the Defiler was ballsy, but he did it and it worked. I also thought going after the Death Guard Rhino turn 1 was bad, but I was wrong and he made the right choice. So he's just slamming you with more accolades. Your head isn't gonna fit in your camera's frame like by the end of this stream, I don't think.
Well, that seems like a scaling problem.
Just zoom out. Just zoom out.
Zoom out.
Yeah.
Also, let's move back more.
Yeah, there you go. See? It's a matter of perspective.
It's all a matter of perspective.
All right. So game 7 came down to Morty failing a charge and you running away very bravely.
Very bravely ran away, Sir Robin.
I just watched that again with my wife. It's the first thing I thought of was run away, but
run away.
Yeah. So round 8.
Round 8, I play Ascari on GW stream. Great game, great opponent. Game. It was a very good time. It was probably my favorite opponent at that time of the tournament. All my games were great. All my opponents were great. I didn't have any contentious games. Didn't have any real issues at all in any of my games. So I'm really grateful for that. It was a really good time. But like Scar was probably my best opponent, the most favorite opponent to play at that time. That game came down to. We didn't have enough. We were both playing very technical. We weren't playing slow, but we were playing very technical. We had to be very careful because, like, if we make mistakes, like, we both have the potential to just like kill each other and basically really capitalize on the mistakes the other one makes. So we're both having playing very carefully. It comes down to turn 4. We don't have enough time to go into turn 5. I think I still probably win if we go into turn 5, but I don't know. We'll never know exactly. But it comes down to Lilith is not able to kill. He's not able to kill 3 units. He's able to kill 1 unit. And Lilith
this was Purge the Foe, right?
This is Purge the Foe.
Okay.
But he needs to kill 3. He has no prisoners, and he needs to kill 3 units to tie. He's not able to kill 3 units, and then I'm able to win by I think like 2 or 3 points.
God, that's so good.
Yeah, it was a really close game. It was really good. He was a really good opponent. I really appreciate him. And but it came down to we weren't able to get through turn 5 because we both ran out of time. We had enough time to finish out turn 4, and
that tracks.
He wasn't able to kill quite enough. But it was a really technical game, really tough, and it was really well played.
All of my games into Drukhari in 10th have been that way, where it's like you're both peeling an onion, a very big onion with many layers, and you're playing like Tetris, the puzzle game. Like if I go here, they can move here and they can charge me and then I'm dead. But if I go here, then I can shoot them, then they're dead because they're made like your Marines are made of like construction paper, but they're made of like tissue paper, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bad tissue paper.
Yeah, very interesting. So that's round 8. How are you feeling after round 8, man? Like you beat the shadow round.
Round 8, I'm feeling fine actually. Round 8. After I finish round 8, I'm just getting some food, come back. I'm just sitting down waiting for my next game. And my everyone's cheering me on. I've got to thank all my friends who have been cheering me on this entire time, blowing up my messenger and stuff like that. I was got all my buddies, my team battle brothers.
Hell yeah.
Cheering me on, and I'm just feeling fine. I'm just I'm actually feeling better than I've ever felt day 3 out of the tournament. Like, I'm feeling good.
Man,
Which is like, I should be feeling tired. I should be feeling like dead inside, but
yeah.
I'm feeling energized.
I think my
And
like resting heart rate in your spot, my resting heart rate would have been like 85.
no, I was calm.
Yeah, that's
I was
cool.
leaping in the wind.
That's rip wash.
Yep.
That's why you win big tournaments and I don't. It's because you can stay chill.
Hey, ice, baby.
Yeah.
Round 9 is Jack Arthur. We go over lists. Both Marines. I've actually was fortunate enough to play against that Angelica Interiors at GT the week before LVO, so last weekend. So I know what it does. It was a different list, but not as good as Jack's list, of course. But Jack's list. I know what it does. Know what it can do. I always forget that he can actually loan up his guys. So yeah, he does. I do let him loan up his He forgets to initially loan up the Samurai squad. I drop in to shoot him with the Gratis squad, the Indominator kill team. He forgets to he armor contempts them instead of giving them the loan up. We roll off and I let him do the loan up strat on them. So I don't actually shoot Dante's squad, even though I got an angle on them because he loan ups them. So that pushes me back a little bit. But it's a hard fought game. It comes down to I Overwatch turn 4. I Overwatch one of his captains, kill one of his captains on Overwatch. That's huge. It prevents him from getting area denial. This is a Terminator squad, by the way. Just Overwatch his captain. He shoots the he has the Sanguinor over to charge my my Judiciar squad. He shoots the Judiciar squad. The Judiciar squad's lost one guy, but they still have the Invulsave guy. They've got 4 guys in the Judiciar. He shoots the Vindicator into the Judiciar squad. He gets 7 hits. He gets like 7 wounds. I make 6 4-up invul saves on the Storm Shield.
Mm-hmm.
He dies on the 7th, but then he can't kill them because if he charges the Samurai and the Samurai dies to the Judiciar.
Yeah.
And the 2 Thunder Imps are still in the squad.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much game at that point because then
Wow.
I've still have the Terminator squad. I've got the Thunder Strike on the middle objective. I'm going to outscore him on primary. We call it a game at that point because the points don't matter. The points don't matter. It's just like who's going to win.
Yeah.
We'll call it a game at that point.
Yeah, you're already at the point in the tournament where like run of show doesn't matter. Like you're playing, you're all playing into some of the best players on the planet. So
yeah,
yeah,
it doesn't like you don't need to score more points. It doesn't matter. So we I scored 4 points, whatever, 60, 54, something like that, and then
it's a pretty low scoring game.
Well, I would have scored more if I actually played out the rest of my rounds, because that was bottom round 4. Like I didn't calculate it.
Oh, okay.
Because if I calculated it, it's just like, what does that even do for me? I don't score more points. I don't get more ITC points by getting myself a higher score.
Yeah, I mean, I would always think that it's about. So I know basically LVO is like 3 little tournaments. It's like there's the GT, the 6 games. Yeah. Then there's the Shadow Round like Garage Hammer game. I'm calling it Garage Hammer, but I think you know what I mean. Like it's a 1 game tournament, and then you have an RTT for a total of. So I always think of it as like you want to score as many points as possible in case there's a tie to guarantee, right? Like I came in second at that RTT last weekend because I was undefeated. There were enough players, but I scored fewer points. Because there's only going to
be 1 undefeated at that RTT.
Right.
Really matter.
Oh, sure. Oh, I guess that's true. Yeah. Okay. So I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I haven't TO'd enough games.
Be like first, second, or whatever, then it might matter. But like,
got it.
At that point, I've already won. I'm playing for the finals.
Okay, I see. Yeah. So it doesn't matter. Like it's just okay. I got you now. So instead of calculating it all out or talking out, it's better to like shake hands and go to the bathroom and get ready for the final game.
It's like why waste the brain power calculating how many points you would have actually scored when it's just like it doesn't matter.
I see. Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
so that was the game against Jack. That was a very hard fought game. But I knew what his blazers could do. I knew they were going to kill a lot, but I knew once he killed what he could, I was going to clap back and kill a lot of his stuff too.
So interesting.
Yep. And then it came down to me against Ben's Ultramarine Vanguard list, which I know Vanguard do. And I looked at his list. I didn't know what he had in his list until we actually played, and I was not scared.
Yeah.
I saw his list and I was just like, this is gonna have a really tough time killing me. I can teleport more things, more mobile. I saw his list and I was just like, I think I'm gonna beat this.
Mhm.
I saw the mission we were doing too. I saw there's almost no places to really hide, and there's really no place to really stage very easily. I knew I had a better position. I knew I had a better position on the map, and I knew that basically I could try and keep him off primary. I go first. I run up the board, kill the scouts on my right hand side, on the right side objective, and kill a bunch of guys from Calcar squad. He rolls pretty badly.
Yeah.
I kill a bunch more guys than I could do more damage than I should. But I put myself into a position where I can kill Calgar next turn.
Which is
And
absolutely incredible into the Vanguard. Yeah. Like if you can kill Calgar,
because he's basically their melee threat.
Yeah, so he's the melee threat. And then they always have the 6-man Centurion, like Las Canis squad, and that's their range threat. So if you can neuter or whittle down those two threats, they're suddenly a lot less scary.
So basically, I wanted to force them to come out with the grab squad turn 1, with the Centurions turn 1. I wanted to force them to come out turn 1 and deal with my squad in the corner, which I basically forced him to do. He hides Calgar in the middle ruin, which I think is probably a mistake, but I don't know where else he puts them. Because by not doing anything with Calgar squad, he allows me to interrupt the Calgar squad. Basically, he runs out of CP on my turn. When I go on my turn 2, so he can't run Calgar away like on the D6 move.
Oh.
Able to charge Calgar. I failed to charge them with all my Terminators. I tried to charge them Terminators in the Calgar squad because I want to make sure they die. I only get a 5-man squad of Deathwatch veterans in the Calgar squad, but they managed to kill Calgar and everything except for one victory card. I killed 3 of the Centurions. So that's why it's basically half the man, half squad. So they're pretty neutered. I kill Uriel Ventress's transport, and I kill all the guys in this transport except for Uriel Ventress because they make a charge with the Silencer squad.
So for anybody listening right now who might be a little confused about board state and stuff, this was also streamed. Like this was streamed, obviously. Like I followed because I watched the game. But like this was all streamed on the Warhammer Twitch channel. Twitch only keeps VODs for like 60 days, by the way. So if you want to watch this, you better do it soon. And it's fascinating because you march in like he had put his like Centurion brick in a far back corner, like nestled into the corner, and you just marched your Indom team like right up to it, gave it the finger.
As close as possible.
Yeah, like gave it the finger and was basically like, take a shitload of saves. And because you killed 3, 3 Centurions,
the game.
Yeah, it basically means that like that the output of that team it's not halved. It's worse than that. So you can, if you could have killed 4, that would have been even better. But yeah, like you didn't have any vehicles, so you're not worried about 4 stray las cannon shots like taking out a tank or something, right? Like that was huge. Like I watched you in one turn neuter his melee threat and his range threat, and like in the Deathwatch Discord we were all cheering. Like it was kind of like being in a sports bar, a text-based sports bar. It was pretty funny. Nice. Like we're all like, wow, that was a massive turn 2 for Mark. That's insane. Yeah. So
no, as soon as that turn 2 happens, as soon as that's over, I knew I won the game.
Yeah,
I knew there was.
We all did.
Yeah.
Even the commentators are trying to be like, well, don't count. I don't even remember the other player. Brad.
I think it was Ben.
Yeah. Don't count him out. And like you know, obviously you can't, right? Like the dice might turn and stuff, but I'm like, I don't know. It looks
But
like he's
like,
in a
I don't know how
really
he's getting on
good.
the objectives. That's the question.
Yeah, it's like he's on a
Like, the
he.
dice could go
Yeah,
hot, but like, how's he getting on the objectives?
yeah. It feels like he's in a pretty good lead to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was again that's a great VOD. All of Mark's VODs are great. The Patreon stream for War Games Live, like obviously you'll have to subscribe to Joe's Patreon, which I suggest you do anyway. He's a fantastic guy, like doing a fantastic service. You're gonna want to get the Warhammer Twitch ones, either download them or watch them within the next few days, or the next few weeks, because they don't keep them for very long. And then obviously the one into Scar. Who did you play on the War Games
I
Live
think that was on
normal
Tabletop
stream?
Live or something like that. I think
Yeah.
it was Tabletop Live or something like that.
Oh, okay. It was the
John
other.
Houston.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, I was on the I think it was the Canadian one.
Yeah. So that one will be around forever because it's on YouTube. But yeah.
And around on War Games Live.
Right. Yeah. Very cool. So, so you win round 10, man.
Yep.
How's it feel?
It feels good. The only problem is I have a flight at like 8:40, so I can't stay for the award ceremony.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, like I even have to get the game to go early. So basically, to make sure I'm able to get like to get on my flight to come home, because I wasn't expecting to do this well. I was actually expecting to not do anywhere near as well as this. I wasn't expecting to win this. But I ended up winning. I was just like, yeah, I was talking to the judges. It's like, hey guys, I don't think I can stay for the award ceremony because I've got to get a flight and I've got to actually get an Uber to go to the flight.
Yeah.
I was just like, at that point, I'm just like, I'm ecstatic. I'm happy. I'm just like, I did it.
Yep. I mean, what's next for you, man?
Next is next is Team Battle Brothers tournament team tournament at Little River in North Carolina. It's gonna be a great time. We always have a good time. We do karaoke and it's gonna be a Super Bowl party on Sunday.
Are you
It's on Super
do you,
Bowl weekend.
do you karaoke during the game?
No, it's Saturday night.
Damn.
There's a bar on premise. We do karaoke at night. I sing death metal.
Oh.
Yes.
I'm not a big death metal head, but like what's your go-to song?
I sing Mermaider by Death Clock. That's a big one
Ah,
that
Death
that
Clock.
brings the
Okay, all
crowd.
right. I know
Yeah.
Death Clock at least, yeah.
Mermaider, that's a good one. I sing another one called The Eagle Has Landed. That's by a band called Avatar. There's some good catchy choruses on those.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
I do like to get hammered and then do some karaoke. Although
There's
I
lots
fall
of drinking, lots of karaoke.
I fall back to my childhood, and I usually sing country songs, which annoys everybody.
Nice.
So
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
who wants a little a little Garth Brooks, right? Anyway, so you want to talk about Warhammer? Oh yeah,
look,
everybody's got to do Journey. Come on, everybody sings along with Journey, Queen,
Yeah.
Friends in Low Places by Garth Brooks specifically.
Yeah, that's the classic one.
Like I'm more of a beer run, BEERRUN, but like yeah, it's like there's some. If you're bad at karaoke, if you pick like a lot of those songs that I just mentioned, everybody's gonna sing over you anyway. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
So, all right. Cool. So teams. I guess we're gonna switch gears slightly. Unless anybody has some more Sandman. Enter Sandman. That's good.
Yeah,
Some Metallica.
Metallica.
Yeah. So teams, totally different game, basically. Right? Different list building, everything. I have not had the opportunity to play teams myself. Which do you prefer? And yes, I know they're two different games, but I'm forcing you to pick.
I prefer singles because I like to be able to just be me against my opponent. But I've got such a good group of teams, group of guys that we hang around with, and I love hanging out with them. So we do a lot of teams together. So yeah, I mean, I love hanging out with my friends.
Nice. Alex Pina is asking, would you change your list? And I'm gonna paraphrase what you said when that was asked before. No, he would not change his list. It did exactly what he needed it to in all his games. And then Fred Fortman was in the comments earlier and actually said that he's tried Mark's list 3 different times and made slight variations each time, and it didn't play as well if he made any like variations. So at least for this play style with this index and this meta with the GW terrain, this seems to be from 2 very good players, 2 players who are very much better than I am. This seems to be the list. We talked about home objective as well. Basically, he either camped it with a Rhino or his LT with combi weapon. I want to ask you a little bit about the LT though. So, like, you just put reroll 1s to wound on the middle objective, probably, right?
Sometimes sometimes it's on usually it's on the middle. Sometimes it's on the There's like some of the corner objective that's easy for the opponent to get to.
Yeah, the natural expansion.
The natural expansion.
Yeah, as it that's StarCraft terminology coming in.
Oh dear.
Tyler is asking, do you think this list will do well into the new guard bridgehead list with the codex allowed in events?
I'll be honest, I haven't even looked at it, so I wouldn't know.
I was just gonna say the exact thing. Yeah, I was just gonna say the exact same thing, is that I haven't even looked into bridgehead. I know it made Tempestus really good.
Yeah.
And then they gained back Deep Strike, possibly, so it sounds annoying.
But I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. There are 24 people watching us right now. There's got to be people with questions. Bring them.
Come on, boys. Bring on the questions.
While I wait for the questions to roll in, what got you into metal?
There's a natural progression. I listened to like Blue Oyster Cult with my parents. That was one of my favorite bands when I was growing up with my parents.
Nice.
I slowly got into metal, and I just like Guitar Hero 3, the song In Flames, Take This Life, got me interested in it. It's like, what is this? I really like this song. And then from there, just like slowly building up from there.
So, how old are you?
33.
Okay, I'm 40. But it sounds like we had a little bit. I didn't go as far as you did, like into the death metal, but basically, like, you know, as a teenager, I started to find bands like Tool. Still love Tool. Yeah. Tool is one of my favorite bands ever. I listen to their stuff like at least once a month. So I see where you're going. Like, you know, you were just discovering more and more stuff. That's so awesome. Although when I was doing it, it was borrowing CDs from friends.
Yes.
And then later,
I remember
Napster.
CDs. I remember CDs. I'd have to burn the music on CDs and just have my own playlist on CDs.
Hell yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Those were the days.
Yeah. And then there was Napster and LimeWire and BearShare. Oh, the glory days of the internet. We have some more questions now. Now that we have this filler. To inflate Gator's head even more, just so oh, okay. This isn't a question. This is a statement, but to inflate Gator's head even more, just so everybody knows, he helps out his friends with list creation, playing games out, and giving advice. He's a stand-up guy all around. And if your friends are anything like my friends, your friend is drunk right now, right?
Quite possibly.
Okay. Because we don't really give each other compliments unless we just survived just like something that could have killed us, or we're a little tipsy.
Nah, there's good guys. There's good guys.
Nice. All right. Are you tipsy?
I don't know. That's why I'm sitting down.
Fantastic. Alex Pina is asking, what general tips do you have for new pilots? I assume he means new pilots of Deathwatch in general. Maybe not this list specifically.
If you try and play it like me, you're probably gonna have runs with a little bit of difficulty because this list is designed to basically run my play style. And my play style, if you've listened to any of it, is kind of like this. To sum it up simply, fuck it, we ball.
Yeah. It sounds like a
Because I play
real.
very aggressively. I don't play very passively usually. Usually, I try to make my opponents make mistakes. I try and move up the board. I try to give up like a sacrificial unit to force them to like come out and make them engage with it. Then I try to capitalize on their mistakes. But I usually play very aggressively. This list works really well for that. You can also play for pretty passively with it, but the way I like to play, it really capitalizes on my play style.
Yeah, just like measured aggression.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, but it's measured, right? Like
Yeah.
You aren't world eaters. Yeah, like you aren't like world eaters hoping for +2 to move and advance and charge, and then like stage behind some ruins for like a, or maybe you get some lucky turn 1 like charges. Like you are measured violence. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But lots of violence.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
Of course, this is Warhammer.
Yeah. Like, what's better than violence? Ultra violence.
Indeed.
All right. Let's see. Do you like Deathwatch or AdMech more? I didn't even know you played AdMech.
Oh man, I used to be the AdMech guy. It was like the back in the day, like early 9th edition, I was like the only one playing AdMech. When Drukhari came out, I was on AdMech, and I was actually beating Drukhari when it was the big menace with AdMech.
Yeah.
Like I used to be the AdMech guy, but like AdMech hasn't been fun to play in a while because it just hasn't felt like what they should be. Because they should be they lost what they feel like when they first came out to me. And I just feel like some other army, so I've just been playing Marines for the most part.
Yeah.
So I would say I'm liking Deathwatch more than AdMech.
I researched you a little bit before I messaged you this afternoon, and basically everything I read or heard was this dude loves the Space Marines, and he just switches between like whatever faction or attachment is strongest at the moment, which is legitimate. Like that's not a dig. I'm just saying that's what I heard.
So. No. Well, I switch between AdMech and the Space Marines for whichever is strongest at the moment, which I feel is Space Marines at the moment.
Yeah, right now for sure.
Yeah, right now. But yeah, I used to be like the AdMech guy. If you look a little deeper, you'll start finding some AdMech stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't go back to 9th, that's for sure.
Deep lore. The deep
lore. It does it's funny you brought that up, like, so right, Grey Knights. When 10th hit, it was all about like avoiding that Eldari matchup because they were just disgusting with the Wraith Knights and stuff. But like I know a lot of really good players who would just take Grey Knights to events and hope to get paired into Eldari, and then just knock them out of the game, out of the tournament, basically. Because
no, I was playing Deathwatch in early 10th edition that actually beat Eldari.
Well, early 10th we were really good.
Yeah, early 10th Deathwatch was really good. And I had a really nasty list for Nova. Actually did really well at Nova. With my Deathwatch, I went like 7-1, something like that. I finished like really high, and I think I finished like 3rd or 4th at Nova that year.
Wow, it's pretty good, man. Nice. Let's get to some more of these comments and questions. I know the LVO fact about Deathwatch and Astartes units was controversial. Do you feel like it has discredited your incredible run?
People can think whatever they want. I mean, the only thing that mattered like maybe 3 rolls. I rolled 6s with a Storm Speeder.
Yeah.
With a Thunderstrike, because like it doesn't really matter that much.
So
people can think what they want to, but like, because it was only on 3 units, no, it didn't really affect it that much.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that as well. That we talked about this a little bit earlier in the stream, Halo, but one of the things I noticed immediately about his list is that almost every single unit in there has the kill team keyword. They're all Deathwatch units except the lieutenant with combi weapon, who is always by himself, and the Storm Speeder. Right? Am I missing something else?
The Rhinos.
Oh, and okay, and the rhinos, but
Everyone forgets
rhinos don't get mission tactics. Woo! I'm really worried about those 2 stormbolters on there, but anyway, like I loved that. I immediately was like, wow, this guy brought everything with the kill team keyword, which we just got the kill team keyword on the Terminators with the new index. And that's huge for the Terminators. So I thought that was really ingenious, really great that you just like, you looked at the index, pretended it was basically anything that existed and just grabbed out of that, and then took a couple little tech pieces, which were like ace. So, if someone were to ask me that question at like a tournament tomorrow or something, I would say it doesn't really matter because he brought almost no units that didn't have the mission tactic key or ability anyway. So yeah, so maybe you got a couple sustained hits on your storm speeder, which it's just there to hit once anyway.
Yeah, it's mainly just there to hit.
Yeah.
It may cause damage, but usually doesn't. Usually they make their saves against it anyways.
Yeah. But interesting question. I hadn't thought about that at all. So very interesting question. Any Primus heads here? The silence lets me know. No. Yeah. Not really a question, but more so super happy to see our area represented again, and that Mark got the victory he deserved after so many events going X and 1. And then Zimco just says they aren't drunk, they're just really stoked. And then Robert's asking, what's the average range you generally engage the Indomitor kill team with? Do you go for melted damage or keep them as far as at arm's length as possible?
Usually trying to get them in melted range. I'm usually oftentimes we even charge them with them sometimes too.
Yeah.
Because like they're gonna die anyway, so like might as well get them in combat too.
Yeah, I mean they still get the +2 to strength when they charge. Yeah. So
but it also depends on the situation of what's where, what can get to them, what can't get to them. Can I be in cover? Can I not be in cover? Can I be hidden from what's going to shoot them back? It depends on the situation.
Yeah. He then apologizes for his horrible spelling, but I think I managed to actually translate that pretty well. And then Eric just wants to congratulate you and says that the last game was sick. So, and I agree, that was a sick game.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey man, it's almost 40 after midnight for you. I'm gonna give folks a couple more minutes to ask some more questions. Do you have any more plugs? I know you were talking about Team Battle Brothers a bit and your team tournament that's coming up, but you got anything else you want to plug?
East Coast baby, East Coast meta, East Coast best coast.
Nice. That doesn't rhyme, but okay.
I know. It doesn't have to.
There you go. It just has to be said with gusto.
With gusto.
Do you find it hard to screen with the list with having such elite units?
No, because usually they're trying to screen me.
Yeah. I mean, when you tell them I can, for free, just redeploy 2 massive threats every single turn.
Screening anything really. Even against my last game, I was just like, all right, cool, I'm just gonna put this right over here, screening out a little bit. Usually I'll screen out a little bit, but like I'm not really that focused on screen. I'm usually more focused on like what I can do.
Ooh, I like this question. This gets into the hypothetical, but if you were a rules writer, what do you like? What would you change about Deathwatch?
I would make it more clear if the characters get the mission tactics if they attach to a unit, because that's not necessarily 100% clear. Because I think the way it's written, you get the mission tactics if you attach the character to the unit, but it's not 100% certain.
Yeah.
I'll just make that more clear.
Yeah, I agree, because it's like, if you attach like a unit that doesn't have scout or a leader that doesn't have scout to a unit that has scout, you lose scout on the unit. But then this is saying, right. But this is more nebulous because it's not explicitly stated. So I don't know. It's just very,
Yeah, I
It's
was thinking
almost like
explicitly
it's
stated.
yeah, it's almost like it's a very complicated game, and there's no way that we'll ever have the facts about everything before they just re-release a new edition that changes everything, and then all the nebulous questions come rolling back in. So you think that there's nothing else that Deathwatch needs? I mean, I guess you did just win LVO.
I mean, at the moment, I mean, there's more stuff that can make it more thematic. Like you could bring back the mixed kill teams with like bikes and jump packs and stuff like that. That would be cool. That'd be nice. I know it's harder to balance, which is why they haven't done it. But like that would be cool. GW, that'd be nice. That's why they haven't done it, because it's really hard to balance, because you got to think about like things that, so we make the bikes infantry. How do we do this as a transport?
That worked, no problem.
Screw it, just no bikes, no jump packs together.
Yeah. I guess
that'd be nice to have, but
I don't know how I would do this, but if that question were like pointed at me, I would make the Corvus not suck, because it's the best looking flyer in the game, and I would make it. So I was talking to some folks actually who were saying, like, if you look at the Corvus just as a gunship, it's basically a Storm Raven with stealth. And I'm like, that's, and like 80 points cheaper or something. And I'm like, that's fine. Flyers are not good in this meta. Like, they just die because everything can see them. You know, and there's, yeah, make all flyers non-suck. There you go. I played against the Drukari Bomber on Saturday, and let me tell you, that thing does not suck.
Yeah, that Sky had one too. It does not suck.
It does not suck. 12 shots, re-rolling hits, invul for one CP,
Well, yeah.
negative 4 AP. Yeah, 12. It basically has 12 las cannons on it.
It's pretty nasty.
It does not suck. But no, like the flyer rules in general leave something to be desired for sure. Yeah.
Yes.
We got a lot of things about how East Coast is the best coast. You guys are basically just a giant swamp over there. I don't know why you think that, but okay.
No, that's Maryland.
Yeah, I mean, it's just mainly thinking like Washington D.C. and any place that I've spent time in. I'm from the Pacific Northwest, so like I've got mountains, lots of forests, rivers. It's nice. Do you see any viability in 2 or 3 Talon Strike list?
No.
Yeah, I mean, I really love the idea of 2 Indomitor kill teams, but I don't know how you make it work. Like, you still have to score
the
stuff.
gun is just like it's a good tech piece, but it's like it's not. You just need one. You just need one. Because 2 is too many.
Good evening. I just got here, but I was really impressed how in the final game Mark dropped the Indomitors, baited the AOC, and then killed half the Centurions with Talon Strikes.
Yep.
So he's just got a big grainy face on there. So ruling out luck, who do you think is the top dog in the meta?
For like factions,
let's break that down. Let's say factions and then detachments. Let's make it a really involved question.
Well, obviously, Deathwatch is the top tier, of course.
Of course.
Obviously,
you just proved it, sir.
There's LVO. I mean, Marines in general are very strong right now because like they're very versatile. You can build them almost any way you want to, and like in the hands of a good player, Marines will be top tier. Almost any build you go, if you do it right, if you build optimally, you can do very very top tier with Marines. Marines are top tier, for sure. Let me see here. Things that can beat Marines would also be good. Gene circles are also very good, but like not too many people play them. But like people who do play them will be really good. But like Marines can deal with gene circles, of course. It's just it's really tough. It's really tough.
Yeah, it's a complicated game, right? There's a lot of
Yeah.
there's some rock paper scissors going on there, and yeah, it's like
There's definitely some rough episodes going on there, but like that's what I like about my list is what it does very good is it plays the mission and it's very versatile.
hmm,
Because like the being able to teleport is huge, and then you have the guns that can capitalize on being able to teleport. Whereas like Grey Knights, they can't really like shoot very well. Like they can shoot, but like there's usually like storm bolters like AP-1 2 damage guns, so like, they can teleport on the board, but they can't capitalize on it.
hmm.
Whereas like this list can capitalize on it with the Terminators, the other stuff, and get in the melee and do stuff. So it just does a lot of stuff really well.
I
I mean,
was
Deathwatch isn't the top of the meta though because like there's too few people who play it. If you're trying to tech against Deathwatch, you'll probably lose to something else. That's just
yeah,
not teching against it.
yeah. I mean, that's kind of like again, and I'll like point out. I think the next best Deathwatch player at the event at LVO was 115th. You know, but if you
That's
you know,
respectable,
but there were what 3 CSM players in the top 8. There
yeah,
were three Space Marines of various factions in the top 8. That
yeah,
includes you, obviously. So it was
yeah.
you, Blood Angels, Ultramarines in the and then
I think
there's
there
like
was two
one
Ultramarines.
Gene's. Hmm?
I think there might have been 4 Marines. There might have been
Okay.
2 Ultramarines, maybe.
Yeah.
I forget. But
Yeah.
it
Anyway,
was like Genso, Scary, CSM, I believe, in the top 8.
I do like how you call Scary his own faction. He didn't play
basically is.
Drakari. It's just Scary.
It is.
That's fantastic.
I put respect on his name.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Actually, the placings were so Deathwatch, Ultramarines, Blood Angels, Gene Stealer, Drakari, Josh Roberts, who played Space Marines, Ultramarines. Then it was CSM running Packbound Zealots. Then it was CSM running the Chaos Cult. So, I mean, like in the top 8, you're looking at 4 Space Marines, two Chaos Space Marines, Gene Stealer Cult, and Drakari. So like at the top of LVO, not healthy. If you think of like the fact that there are 22 factions, 23 factions, but at the same time, like there were over 1,000 players at this tournament.
Yeah.
And you had to get down to a winner, right? So like you're never gonna yeah. Actually, I'm curious as to where the first Grey Knight. Okay, 22nd. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Out of 1,000 players. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, are you gonna take your Deathwatch to a teams tournament, or are you switching it up?
Probably not. This is better for So when I play in teams, usually my team is trying to get me to score a lot of points, which
Makes sense.
this can do. But like in teams, you want to deny your opponent points. This is a very good singles list. It's not so great in teams, in my opinion.
So, would you
Like it'll
take?
win games, but it won't necessarily win big.
Right. Yeah. Do you want to take Deathwatch to teams? Like obviously with a
No,
totally different list.
Want to
Okay.
take this. I would take a completely different list. For my role in my team, I would take a different list.
Got it. So not even Deathwatch. I mean, obviously, if you took Deathwatch, you'd still take a totally different list, but you would take a different
No,
army.
I think this is the optimal list to take for Deathwatch in general because it doesn't matter what layout you're on. You can hide for most things on turn 1. So basically, you're very strong on any layout, and it plays the mission well. It's on any mission. So
Got it.
this is pretty much the optimal Deathwatch list in general, especially because if you change it up at all, like you're not patrolling more vehicles because those vehicles don't get mission tactics.
Yeah.
The only thing that's optimized, the only thing, especially with GW, has been explicit. So this is literally the optimal way to play Deathwatch, in my opinion.
Yeah. If you start grabbing more of the like named kill teams, like like I said, I love the idea of 2 Indominator kill teams, but then you have to drop what 2, like a 5-man or a 10-man, like vet squad for it? Is that
You'd have to drop 3. You'd have to drop all 3 of them because they're 270.
yeah? So there you go. Like, is that worth it? Probably not. Like, you need the scoring pieces and the threat pieces. So yeah, I don't know. I want to bring 2 MDoms like I did at the start of 10th. But there's just not really. But I also brought whirlwinds at the start of 10th because they did get mission tactics. And let me tell you, sustained hits blast into like a bunch of Necron warriors was amazing.
You don't like that. You don't like that at all.
Yeah, indirect. It was that was so good.
Yeah. Oh man, interrupting the start of 10th was stupid.
That was a lot of fun. At least they nerfed the Deathwatch Stern Guard doing 40 mortals in one shooting phase.
They nerfed that before it even existed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm amazed I got through playtesting, but I'm sort of also not amazed it got through playtesting.
Oh, no one's ever going to do that. Yeah, we will.
Yeah, we will. Anti-infantry 2+ with devastating wounds weapons. Bet your ass I'm doing that.
If you
and then we get to fire again. Yeah. Good stuff.
Good times, good times.
Yeah, I know, Aaron. I was trying to be a little polite, but we all know that they didn't playtest it. And like it's a complicated game, and I don't want to disparage Games Workshop too much, but like, you know, if they did playtest it, it wasn't with, you know, like the Art of War crew or something. It was some internal employees who might even be good. They might even win, you know, like local tournaments, but they're not like insanely good players that immediately find every loophole, right? So
yeah.
All right, man. It's nearing 1 a.m. where you're at. I'm gonna let you go. Thank you so much. This was a super awesome interview. Thank you for just being so flexible. I messaged him like 6 hours ago, and I'm like, you want to come on tonight? He's like, sure, fuck it, we ball, I guess.
Yeah.
So here we are.
That's how we do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and the desolators on like at the beginning of a 10th were gross too.
Yes.
I'm gonna go wash my mouth out after thinking about that. So all right, guys, thank you so much for showing up. We had a huge amount of people watching the entire time. We had a lot of great questions. This has been probably the most interactive my stream has ever been. Thank you so much, Mark. I'm gonna end the stream now, but down below I have links to the list. There's a BCP link down there. LVO is one of the premier events where you can read everything, even if you're not a subscriber. So if you want to go like peruse the lists and his matchups and stuff, it's all there. It's all free. I've got links to my Discord, to the Grey Knights Discord, and the Deathwatch one down there. Is there a website for your team or anything, Mark?
Not really, no.
Okay.
It's not yet. Now, where's the bunch of guys to hang out and chill?
Bunch of comments right now, just thanking you for your time and congratulating you. So
thank you, everybody.
Mark, thanks again. And everybody else,
Thank you, Rick.
don't forget,